Earlier this year, the Atlanta Community Food Bank distributed its 1 billionth with a B meal. Now almost doing 100 million a year, and we're coming up to a season where the food insecure really hits home. It's the holiday season. Joining us live, top dog. I don't know if I promoted you earlier, Kyle. What's your exact title? Is it? I was.
I'm the CEO of the
That's
food
what I
bank,
said.
but
All right.
I like top dog.
Top dog as well?
That feels like a promotion.
Our buddy Kyle Waide joining us in studio. I got to say, before we get into what you guys are doing for the holiday season, it warms my heart every month when I get a little alert on my phone from my credit card saying your monthly donation to ACFB just went through.
It warms my heart too, Mark.
It makes me just feel, I'm like, oh, good. Someone that needs food is going to get it. I love the automatic donation that I have set up. So thank you for all that you do. But this is the needy season, right, for food insecure folks in Metro Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, this particular time of year presents unique challenges for food insecure families. Kids are going to be out of school for Thanksgiving and the holiday break that will be coming up in December. And that creates additional costs for folks. Those kids normally would get food at school.
Yeah, that's right.
Now they won't. So just increased budget impacts for families as they navigate that and just other expenses associated with the holidays. But that said, year round, food insecure families are facing huge challenges. And right now we've seen a real increase in demand over the last 18 months. Lines at food pantries are getting longer, about a 40% increase in the number of people that we're serving right now compared to where we were about a year and a half ago. And it's all related to inflation, right? I mean, higher prices for food and gas and housing costs continue to go up. Healthcare costs continue to go up. That's just putting a lot of pressure, economic pressure on families. And it means that we, the food bank, and all the people who help us do our work have more work to do this holiday season. We got to step up and take care of our neighbors.
Yeah, with that inflation and shrinkflation that you often see in the supermarkets as well, folks that historically would not have to worry about putting food on the table, they middle income families doing just fine economically, but now the grocery bill goes from $150 to $300. Are you seeing more of those folks that had never needed your help before taking advantage of the Atlanta Community Food Bank?
Yeah, we're definitely seeing folks who are much more in harm's way than they used to be. About half the folks that we serve have incomes that are too high to qualify for benefit programs like food stamps. So these are working families, often with kids at home. And they, when they feel this kind of economic pressure, just puts them in a much more dangerous position of not being able to meet all their basic needs. So a big part of that increase is in that sort of next level of income beyond the folks who are really at the bottom. But what we're concerned about as we look ahead is that this sort of economic pressure on families is just going to be with us for a long time.
What I've always been amazed about in the history of the Atlanta Community Food Bank, again, 1 billion meals served, is your ability to stretch the dollar, right? The amount of food you can get per dollar is amazing. On the other side of the ledger now, with this inflation, is it tougher for you guys to stretch that dollar so well like you used to?
Well, we certainly have seen our expenses go up too, in a couple of different ways. So just the operating environment's more expensive. So the things that we were already doing cost more, whether it's driving a truck or paying a food bank staff member or paying for insurance or anything else. All that stuff has increased over the last couple of years. But then in addition to that, we've seen public support, federal support in terms of U.S. Commodities decline over the last few years.
No
So we're
kidding.
getting less food from the federal government than we did during the pandemic, which means for us to meet higher demand, we're having to buy more food than we ever have. Last year, we spent $23 million on purchasing food.
Okay.
That compares to about $6 million in the last year before the pandemic.
That's a massive increase.
So it's a huge increase, and that obviously affects our cost basis. That said, we're still a very efficient organization. We take great pride in that. We've got a great facility that allows us to operate efficiently. We've got great talent at the food bank that help us do that. We have a lot of volunteers that work for free who help us accomplish those things. So We do operate efficiently, but it is a tougher environment than it's ever been.
Kyle Waide, CEO of the Atlanta Community Food Bank, joining us live in studio here on the Mark Arum Show. We, as you very well know, Kyle, we have the most generous listeners in the world. They step up in the community whenever there is a need. For folks listening that aren't food insecure and have the ability to help others, what can folks listening right now do to help your cause?
Yeah, so the easiest thing to do is to make a financial donation. You can go to our website, acfb.org/donate. It'll take you just a few minutes to make a contribution. You can do like you've done and set up a recurring contribution, which is very helpful.
So easy, so easy.
And it's really helpful to us just to have that kind of predictable income coming in. So that's the easiest thing to do. Beyond that, you can also sign up to volunteer with us. We need volunteers, and this is a great time to do that during the holiday season with your family, with your company, whatever it may be. And you can also find other ways to get involved. You can find ways to get engaged with the local pantry partner in your community. You know, we work with 700 community partners across North Georgia. We supply them with food, and they get that food then to people in need. So you could find a way to get connected to the church or pantry that's in your neighborhood and begin to volunteer there. That's a great way to get involved. But
It just
a lot of things you can do. Go to our website, and that's the front door to all of it.
I always have to keep reinforcing this in my head that we have so many new folks that move into the Metro Atlanta area every year. Longtime residents like me, we know all about the good work that you do. In about 30, 60 seconds, for folks that are just new to the area, they've never heard about the Atlanta Community Food Bank. How does the operation work? And where do you spread the food? How does it get distributed? Just a brief nutshell on what the ACFB actually does.
So the Atlanta Community Food Bank is one of the largest hunger relief organizations in the country. We work with 700 community partners across 29 counties in North Georgia, supplying them with food so they can get that food to people in need in their local community. We provide a central point where food donors and financial donors can donate resources to us, and then we distribute those resources out through this decentralized network. Those partners are ordering food from us through an online system, and they either come pick it up from us or we deliver it to them. And right now we're serving about 230,000 households every month through that network of partners.
What's the geographic footprint of
29 counties.
29 counties.
We go up basically to the North Carolina, Tennessee state line, over to Alabama to our west, about halfway to Athens, and about halfway to Macon.
Yeah, you're doing God's work. Kyle Waide, Atlanta Community Food Bank. Folks, if you want to, I know you want to help. I mean, I'm not asking the question. If you want, I know you want to help. acfb.org/donate. And we're going to be partnering with you out in the community coming up during the holiday season as well.
Yeah, we've got a number of food drives set up at different locations on different dates where you can show up to help bring food to donate. We're asking people to bring some great Thanksgiving-themed items to those food drives. They're located at grocery stores across North Georgia. I think there's some information about that on your website that people can go look up the dates and times of those locations. And that'll be a great way for us to work together. And then throughout the year, you guys have been great at helping tell our story and helping us connect with the community so that they know that at any time there's need out there that we're trying to work to meet, and that it's easy for people to find a way to get involved and make a difference.
Any foods you don't accept? Oat milk? Do you frown on I'm not a big fan of capers. Do you turn those away? No, you'll take everything?
I don't know what you have against capers, Mark. Like, capers are so good. But, it's tough to donate perishable items in a food drive. A lot easier to donate non-perishable items. But get involved, and we'll find a way to make sure that you can make a difference.
Keep up the great work, Kyle Waide. Again, folks, donate, acfb.org/donate. Check out WSBradio.com for the latest. Kyle, great to see you. Have a great weekend, buddy.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.